Hi there. In this video, we're going to create a new table for our maintenance solution, and it's called service areas. The purpose of this table is for us to be able to identify the sort of services that we might need in order to be able to solve our maintenance issue. In the context of the data model that we're building, we already have a locations table. We're about to build a service areas table, and in due course we'll build a maintenance log table which will have lookups to both the location table and the service areas table. We're going to firstly create the service areas table. We'll then create any new columns that we might need, update the form, and then review the views. So let's move over to the exercise and start building. I'm starting on the Power Program Hub. I'm now going to select on Start Experimenting to take me to my development environment. If you're an enterprise user, you'll need to navigate to make.powerapps.com and select the environment that you're using in order to do your development work. I'm going to select Solutions, select the School Maintenance Solution, select New, Table, and then Table Advanced Properties. The display name is going to be Service Area, and I'm happy with the plural name. I'm going to add a description, the type of service needed to solve the maintenance issue. I'm going to select on primary column, update the display name to Service Area Name, and update the description to the name of the service area. I would typically move back to the properties for one last review. And if I select on advanced properties, I can see the schema name is going to be pp_service area. Select save. And my table has been created. I'm going to make a small change to the service area columns and data. Select the drop down. I'm going to search for our newly created column, Service Area Name. I'm going to remove a number of the other columns from this particular view. Select Save. I'm now going to use a simplified approach to adding in new service areas. Select Edit, and start typing in the service area name. The record's been created. I'm going to create a number of additional records. So we now have 4 records in our service areas table. Select back, move on to the views. I'm going to look at the active service areas view. I'm going to show you another technique for adding a table column in. I can select Add New Table Column. And this one's going to be called Response Time. Now I've suggested that the description is the response time in hours to make a first assessment on a maintenance issue. The data type needs to be a number, and it needs to be a whole number. I'm going to leave this as an optional field and then select Advanced Options. I'm going to change the minimum value and make that 1 and make the maximum value 100. I'm happy that the schema name is pp_response time. I'm going to select Save. This newly created field has been added into our view. I'm going to select Save and Publish. Select back. Then select the drop down so we can then update the forms. Select on the main information form. I'm going to drag the response time into the form. Then select Save and Publish. and back. I'm going to make one more change to this table, and that's in relation to the newly created column. I'm going to move on to the service area columns, and I'm going to select the response time column. And in display name, I'd like this to read as response time hours. And now that I've made this change, if I go onto the advanced options, notice that the schema name doesn't change. I'm going to select save. I'm going to look at the forms on my main information form. And this is a little clearer in terms of how they should fill this form in. And that's it. We've created a service area table. We added an additional field, response time. We populated it with data, and we made sure that our forms and views were configured correctly. I'll see you in the next video.